The $900 billion COVID relief legislation signed into law at the end of December 2020 included an extension on the moratorium on evictions. It takes us now to the end of January 2021. It's extending that CDC, the Center for Disease Control order that was titled Temporary Halt in Residential Evictions to prevent the further spread of COVID-19. It was originally issued back in September of 2020, set to expire at the end of the calendar year, but this COVID legislation pushes the new expiration date to January 31st, 2021. It protects tenants from eviction based on non-payment of rent during the COVID pandemic. Now, to invoke this moratorium or to make it apply to your situation, you simply need to show your landlord a CDC Declaration Form. You can print a form from the CDC's website that says you are not able to pay rent in the time of COVID and therefore cannot be evicted. You show a copy of this form that you've completed to your landlord or your residential property owner. Also keep a copy for your own records or should you need to prove that you showed this to your landlord at some future date. Now, there are a couple other things to keep in mind. Rent is still due. This doesn't absolve you from paying rent. It just keeps you from being evicted for non-payment of rent. Some property owners and landlords are even allowed to charge interest or fees for late rental payments. So you're going to want to stay in close contact with your landlord or property owner to make sure you have an understanding of what the expectations are for rent or any future payments. Now, landlords also can evict people for other reasons other than non-payment of rent. Landlords, however, cannot discriminate. Wisconsin law, where we are, prohibits housing discrimination. So being evicted because you tested positive for COVID, for example, would be prohibited by Wisconsin law. In the description below, we link to that CDC Declaration Form that we described. We also share the original language of that CDC Order that gives more details about this eviction moratorium. We also give you some Wisconsin housing frequently asked questions that our Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection has shared. They also share information if you feel you're being discriminated against by your landlord, some steps you can take. You can also read more on that extensive COVID relief package that was signed into law. We link to that also in the description below.